today and that we're going to really learn. I'd like to go straight to introducing to us the Toastmaster of the day. As we all know, the Toastmaster of the day is the person who has the responsibility of guiding our thoughts throughout the meeting and making sure that we have a meeting that is in line with the Toastmasters International program. Our Toastmaster for today is TM Craig Esohwode. TM Craig Esohwode is an English doctor and an elocutionist. He is a spelling bee pronouncer and a corporate events moderator. All of these things I'm saying you will find out in a bit. TM Craig has a bachelor's degree in sociology and psychology, and he was awarded Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, after his intermediate program in 2000 clinic, an establishment that helps children and professionals to achieve proficiency in English and business communication. TM Craig is the presenter and pronouncer of Spell It Fast on television Continental TVC. TM Craig has earned the Competent Communicator Award at Toastmasters International, the world's leading organization for speakers and leaders. Fellow Toastmasters and our esteemed guests, please let us welcome to the virtual lectern, our Toastmaster, TM Craig Esohwode.
Toastmaster Boluwatife Banwo, please accept my best gratitude for your explicitly spiffing introduction. And may I say that I greatly relished your vocalization of the word international. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Warren Buffett, the American business magnate, who observed that if you cannot communicate, talk to others, and get across your ideas, you are giving up your potential. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters provides the platform for us to deepen the growth trajectory of our communication and leadership skills. In the light of that, fellow Toastmasters and our honored guests, please accept the cordiality of my welcome to today's meeting. It is of paramount significance for me to notify you that every Toastmasters meeting ends with evaluation. For the same reason, every school term ends with a report card. And this portion of a Toastmasters experience is usually championed by an officer known as the General Evaluator for the convenience of our guests. Fellow Toastmasters and our guests, our General Evaluator for today's momentous meeting is a gentleman named Aziz Okegbenro. To the best of my perspicacity, Okegbenro is a graduate of Industrial Relations and Personal Management from the Lagos State University. He is the CEO of Hazy Fashion World. And in my estimation, Toastmaster Aziz Okegbenro is a man who has carved his own brand of gentle and impassioned humor. Ladies and gentlemen, with a ripple of applause, please join me to welcome to the spotlight our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Aziz Okegbenro.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Craig, for that warmly introduction. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. As the general evaluator for today's meeting, my role is to observe and evaluate all activities that will be going on in today's meeting. I won't be doing it alone. I have a formidable team that will be doing it together. Permit me to introduce my team member. Can you hear me, please?
Aziz, we can hear you. Please carry on.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Craig. I have a formidable team that will be working with me. I have the listening evaluator, the grammarian, the timer, and so on. For today's meeting, our listening evaluator is a banker. He likes his family and is a fan of Arsenal Football Club. His primary focus for 2021 is freelancing, and his favorite quote, "The room for improvement remains the biggest room in the world." Please welcome our listening evaluator, Toastmaster Shayo Bilubaje.
Thank
Toastmaster
you.
Shayo, you have the floor.
Thank you very kindly, my general evaluator, for that very warm introduction. And it's indeed my pleasure to serve as your listening evaluator for today's meeting. Fellow Toastmasters and our esteemed guests, as your listening evaluator, my role is to evaluate how attentive we are in today's meeting. You all agree with me that effective listening is one key competence that we cannot overemphasize when it comes to communicating effectively. And here at Learntor's Toastmasters Club, we help you in improving your listening skills to make you become a better communicator. In fact, we place emphasis on listening, so we can always become better at communicating our thoughts, our intent to our stakeholders. At the end of the day, when called upon, I'll be back to test how attentive we have been in today's meeting. I'll be asking questions like, who said what and in what context? I'll also be looking out for preferred words that will be used during the course of the meeting. So I encourage us to pay attentively and listen carefully. Also, I'd like us to use the chat box as frequent as we can, and we'll all be taking note. Thank you, my general evaluator. I'll be happy to be back later today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shayo. Thank you for carefully introducing yourself and letting us know what your role entails. Thank you. The next role player for today's meeting is our grammarian, Toastmaster Israel Ebenezer. Toastmaster Ebenezer likes watching anime and reading manga. Toastmaster Ebenezer is into inventory and procurement management. His primary focus for 2021 is to invest in himself. His favorite quote, "Sing a scene you can live with." That's wonderful. Toastmaster Israel Ebenezer, you have the floor. Toastmaster Israel Ebenezer, are you there? All right, let me call the next role player. Our next role player is the founder of Learntor.ng. She is a digital strategist. Agile and Data Enthusiast, consulting and Agile Digital Transformation training focused on Agile, Scrum, data analytics, business analysis, and digital marketing. She is an accredited professional Scrum Master, digital marketing professional, and consultant with years of expertise across various sectors. She is a coach, a trainer, a mentor, driving and obsessed with an audacious goal of digitally upskilling 5,000 Nigerians, Agiles, and digital marketing professionals by the end of 2021. With keen focus on youth and women, she is a wife, a mother of 6 adorable young ladies, and she is a grandma. She has a growing community of nearly 2,000 entrepreneurs and professionals. Who is this our time? Oh, I'm sorry. I got a message that we have a new timer. All right. Please let me. This me. All right. I'm sorry about that. We have a new timer for today's meeting. And our new timer for today's meeting is Toastmaster Ayodele Randu. Toastmaster Ayodele Randu plays in the data analytics and digital solution space of fintech world. Toastmaster Ayodele enjoys using data to make amazing. To get you to the background and serve as a voice to the minority community. For today's meeting.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to believe I've been presented, so I'm just going to proceed with my role. So the role of a timekeeper pretty much today is to ensure that we keep these meetings to time. In most meetings now, one of the most important skills is time management. And now in this age and time where we do most of our things digitally, we find out that keeping to time could be a challenge sometimes. So as Toastmasters, one of the things that we grow is the skill of time management. And my role today is to ensure that we keep learning the time management, and I'll be ensuring that this meeting sticks to the time allocated to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be using my screen, my background pretty much as the card because I like it. And my green card here shows that where am I back? Shows that you satisfied the minimum time. The yellow card shows that your time is running up, and the red is the max time, which is the alert the speakers that your time has finished. We have 4 different events today. The table topics is between 1 to 2 minutes. The only prepared speech today is between 5 to 7 minutes, while the evaluators are supposed to speak between 2 to 3 minutes. We have a special guest who will be speaking for 30 minutes, and I would like you, Tim Greg, I will communicate to you about chat when you want your cards to be reflected. Ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely meeting. Please don't forget to pin me when I call you up so you could see my background at the back and pretty much know when your time is up. Again, I will ensure that we learn to manage time more effectively. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Beji. Please let's try to manage our time. The more we manage our time, the earlier we complete our meeting. All right, the next role player is our R counter. Meet our counter for today's meeting. She is a vibrant young lady who takes pride in project execution and seeing well thought out plans come to life. She's a trained engineer and human resource specialist. Currently, she owns an outsourcing firm where she provides recruitment, marketing, and advisory services to startups and SMEs. In addition, she oversees the activities of a food and catering outfit, and one day wishes to own a chain of stores catering to people's food needs across Africa. She is a Toastmaster Titilayo Ekundayo. Toastmaster Titilayo Ekundayo, please come on board. You have the floor.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. And
good afternoon.
Having a wonderful day. My job today will be to take note of word fillers and phrases that are used that are not that are inappropriately used or unnecessarily used, like M and R and all of that. So I'll be listening carefully to take note of those words, and I'll give us feedback at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster. And our next role player is the listening evaluator. Toastmaster, excuse me.
My general evaluator, that has been taken already.
All right. So that's all for now. So please, let's make use of let's time ourselves very well, manage our time, and let's listen attentively to all speakers and everything that will be going on in the meeting. Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
All right, Mr. General Evaluator, thank you most graciously for relinquishing control of the spotlight. Might I confirm if our grammarian is on the call now, please?
Toastmaster, our grammarian is not on the call.
All right, it appears that the grammarian is not on the call. Aziz, thank you most graciously for conducting that segment with charm and charisma. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to add a Toastmasters meeting has 3 segments. In point of fact, it's a 3-course meal. And in practical terms, the first segment is table topics, during which time members and guests will learn the art of speaking extempore or extemporaneously. The second segment is prepared speeches. During the segments, members will deliver speeches from the communication manuals produced by Toastmasters International. Incidentally, we're going to listen to 1 speech today. The third segment is the jewel in the crown, evaluation. And that is the moment where we receive feedback that will foster our growth or development. We're going to have a training that will be centered around how you can become a fluent speaker, specifically in English communication. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can still hear me, please give me 2 fingers this way. Right, let's begin the first segment of the meeting. Topics. This is an historicity in 1934, and the person who will anchor this segment is known as the Table Topics Master. Ladies and gentlemen, for this meeting, our Topics Master is Toastmaster Josephine Agolo. She is a businesswoman. She's an apologist for honesty, hard work, and integrity. And guess what? Her recreations are dancing, cooking, shopping, and listening to music. Please join me to welcome to the spotlight Toastmaster Josephine Agolo.
Thank you so much. Thank you, our amiable Toastmaster of today. Thank you so much for that warm introduction. I'm so grateful. Thank you. So as he has rightly said, our table topics is when you are called to speak. I want to use that word. I'm going to bite my tongue, but I will use it. When you speak extemporaneously, speaking without being told that you're going to speak, because it helps you to build your way and manner you speak. Not just that, it helps you to build whenever you are called upon to speak without being told. In any place you find yourself, you are able to speak. So that's what it does. I have 3 topics with me. The first one will be taken by a Toastmaster so that we will see how it is done. While the other 2 will be taken by our guest, our amiable guest. Please don't be shy. Please, if you're a guest, put by your name or write on the chat box, I'm a guest. Please don't be shy. You're going to be speaking for 1 minute to 2 minutes. Okay. My questions are very, very simple. Please. Is TM Messi on call? Is she on call? I would like her to take the first one. She's on call. Yes. My first question goes to Toastmaster Messi. And it goes like this. How do you handle pressure? How do you handle pressure? Hello? Is TM Messi on call? Hello? Okay. I guess she's not on call. Oh, wow.
You can get TM Olumide Ajibade. He's a guest to Learntor, but he's really not a guest.
Okay. Okay. What's the name now?
TM Olumide Ajibade.
Okay. Please, TM
Olumide Ajibade.
Ajibade. Okay, yes. Okay.
TM Olu Ajibade. I'm on board.
Yes. Okay. My question to you is, how do you handle pressure? Pressure from home, pressure from work. Please, your time starts now. Thank you.
How do I handle pressure? Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Yes.
Being in Nigeria alone is one pressure. You said, how do I handle pressure from home, from work? What about the economic pressure? All these are difficult tasks, but there is one antidote to all these things I have discovered. I smile a lot. I take things easy as it comes. And I've discovered that part of the solutions of solving world challenges, life problems, is listening to music. Music always do the magic for me. Whenever I'm down, whenever I'm under pressure,
that I have a lot to do, my head banging, I listen to music. It has always done the magic for me. It has helped me ease pressure. It has made me a better version of myself. So, listening to music, smiling whenever I'm under pressure, helps ease my condition whenever I face them. Over to you, the Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Olumide Ajibade. Are you an intended Toastmaster or you're already a Toastmaster?
I'm an intended Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you for your fantastic response to my question. Thank you so much. Now, my next question goes to... My next question goes to Adelana. I do know I'm a Toastmaster already. Abiola, are you on call? Abiola Adelana.
Okay, good afternoon to Messi. I'm actually on call, but apologies, I won't be able to put on my video. Okay.
All right.
Can you hear me?
My question is this.
Okay.
Imagine you wake up in the morning into $1 million lottery. Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Your question is this. Imagine you wake up in the morning, said you just won a $1 million. Your time starts now.
Oh, wow. Thank you very kindly to Messi. So waking up to win $1 million, right, you say? Well, it's going to be very, very exciting, and I'll be so excited about it. So I have a couple of projects that are actually in my mind to do. And the first is to first of all think of how to invest the money. Then I'll sit back and think how I can effectively utilize the money so that I can get value for the money. Thank you very kindly to Messi calling me out.
Returning member Abiola Adelana for that fantastic response to my question. Thank you very, very much. My last question, because of time, another list goes to Basi. Basi, are you on call? Basi. This is not the first time I'm hearing that name.
Hello, good evening or good afternoon.
Good evening. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
My question goes like this.
Sorry, please, before you continue,
What inspires you?
Oh, okay, thank you. Because I actually want to say that I just joined, so I didn't actually know what the question was meant for. But that question is what I think I could actually go for it or give it a try. Okay, what inspires me? Okay, the fact that I could actually communicate my mind using my past experiences and failures to motivate young persons inspires me daily.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Basi. Thank you for your kind response. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. My work is done.
All right. So thank you most graciously, Toastmaster Josephine, for your charismatic performance. There is an aphorism that says that, please, if your microphone is on, switch it off now. If your microphone is on, switch it off, please. Many thanks for your cooperation. An aphorism says that humans are like tea bags. We never know our strength until we are put into hot water. And that's what the table topics respondents demonstrated today with flying colors. But let's find out how well Toastmaster Deji Randall, please take the floor.
You want the time report, correct?
But of
Right. Okay. So there were some breakages in between. I apologize for that. I'm just going to share my screen briefly. So please hold on. I'll be very brief here. I apologize again. So ladies and gentlemen, I have this small screen, pretty much is what I use for my spreadsheets when I'm presenting my reports. For table topics, we had Tim Ajibade Olumide, who is an acclaimed attending member. He spoke for 1 minute, 28 seconds. Again, the maximum time you spend doing the table topics is 2 minutes. And the minimum time is 1 minute. We had intending Toastmaster Adelana speaking for 34 seconds. Intending Toastmaster Basi speaking for 15 seconds. So that's my report. Over to you, Toastmaster.
All right, Deji, thank you most kindly for your admirably succinct response. It is crystal clear that the only person that kept within the timing guideline for the table topics is none other than Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade. And that means we're not going to vote. All right, so we'll go on a 3-minute break. I don't think it would be wise to go on a 5-minute break at this point. We'll go on a 3-minute break, and then when we return, we are going to delve effortlessly into the training session. I cannot wait for that experience. Asaya Baba, please, over to you for the break time.
Thank you, Tim. Greg. For the break time, like you said, we're going to be going for 3 minutes. So we should be back by 3:50. So I will encourage everybody to just use this time to network, call up anybody on the group chats and see what we can do, expand our network and make the most of the break time. We'll be back by 3:15. Thank you very much.
Shayo Baba. DM Shayo Baba, music on the background, small music. Abi, who is our DJ?
TMAD Shayo, I sent you a message.
Yes, I'm actually working on that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Tim.
DM Shayo, did you hear me?
Let Craig know on time. Let him know.
Yes, I forwarded to him already.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just follow up with him.
Did you hear me?
Tim Josephine, I don't have music on my system. Do you have one to help us with?
My work is done. Musical. I don't have music too. I don't even know how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
All right, all right, thank you very kindly, the DJ. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I need a confirmation, please. If you can still hear me, give me a wave this way. Just give me a wave this way if you can still hear me. All right. All right, a couple of chat room or chat box, and the word is controvert. It means to refute. That's controvert. It's a verb. And I'd like to suppose that you've already seen the word and its usage in the chat box. Let's try to use the word of the day. Let's now delve straight into the training session, which I think we've all been waiting with bated breath for. And I'd like to relinquish control of the spotlight to Toastmaster Adesayo Bilubaje to introduce our guest speaker. Adesayo, you may please take the floor now.
Thank you, TM Craig, for that opportunity. Just give me a moment to pull the profile of our guest speaker up. Just a moment. All right. Our guest speaker for today is TM Craig Esohwode. I hope I did not murder that name. He's an English doctor, spelling bee pronouncer, and a corporate event moderator. Craig has a bachelor's degree in sociology and psychology. In 2009, he was awarded the best student in English phonetic transcription at the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria Training School, now the National Broadcast Academy. And he graduated with a distinction after his intermediate program in 2016. He is the founder of Craig's Communications Clinic, an establishment that helps children and professionals to achieve proficiency in English and business communication. Interestingly enough, Craig is the presenter and pronouncer of Spell It Fast on Television Continental, that's TVC. Craig has earned the Competent Communicator Award at Toastmasters International, the world's leading organization for speakers and leaders. You will agree with me that we have a guest who is very competent as to this topic of how to be a fluent speaker. So I want to encourage us to pay keen attention, pay very rapt attention to our guest speaker for the next 20 to 30 minutes while he does justice to the topic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, TM Craig. Please take it away.
Right, so thank you most kindly for the introduction, Toastmaster Adesayo Bilubaje. Dejirando, please, if I've spoken for 15 minutes, you may please raise the green card. Dejirando, the timekeeper. If I've spoken for 15 minutes, raise the green card. 17 minutes, 30 seconds, you can please raise the yellow card. And when I've spoken for exactly 20 minutes, you can raise the red card. I would take questions for 5 to 10 minutes thereafter. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was in secondary school, I disliked mathematics an awful lot. As a result of that, it came as no astonishment when I failed it with a flourish of trumpets in the examination, SS3. You would be struck to know that I retook mathematics 3 times, meaning I failed mathematics 3 times. And out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope emerged. I began my journey into the world of fluency, eloquence, or communicative competence. And the journey has lasted for 22 years and counting, and I'd like to share my experience with you. And it is my unflagging belief that what you learn today can help you to achieve or accomplish fluency. Having said that, it is of pragmatic significance to define who a fluent speaker is. Who is a fluent speaker? According to the dictionaries of English, a fluent speaker is someone who can speak a language easily and correctly. I would recapitulate that for the sake of emphasis. A fluent speaker is someone who can speak a language fluently, easily, I crave your pardon, and correctly, easily and correctly. That said, may I take this opportunity to controvert certain misconceptions about fluency. Given the definition, it stands to reason that fluency is not tantamount to speaking quickly or speaking rapidly. Secondly, fluency is not limited to environments. You do not have to travel to an English-speaking country to be fluent in English. The third thing I'd like to mention to you is that for you to become fluent in English, which is incontrovertibly the global instrument of communication today, you've got to immerse yourself in English. I would like to share something with you now. The host, please allow me to share my screen. All right. I would like Toastmaster Ibrahim Kassim to please read this out loud. Ibrahim Kassim.
I'm here. If you want to speak English with remarkable fluency, you must get into the habit of fluent speakers. Immerse yourself in English.
All right, thank you very kindly for that. And when I talk about the habit of fluent speakers, I'm referring to the cognitive psychology of fluency. And cognitive psychology simply means the mental processes involved in understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to become fluent in English, take notes of the following tips that I will share with you now. These tips have helped me over the years, and I think they can help you to broaden the horizons of your English communication. The first is you have to find the motivation. And in doing so, you've got to define your goal. What is your goal? Why do you want to be fluent? You want to be able to speak to your children with good grammar, proper pronunciation, fitting vocabulary? That's a goal. You want to stand out in your workplace? That's a goal. You want to shine during board meetings or group discussions? That's a goal. You've got to define the goal first. In those days, I'm referring to 1999 when I began the journey into fluency. My goal was to present on television. I wanted to become a presenter, not necessarily an English doctor, but a presenter. That was my goal in those days. And that goal generated motivation and interest. Number one tip, find the motivation, define the goal. The second tip I want to share with you is direction. You need direction. And what I mean is that there are two brands of English that are used universally. The American English, British English. You've got to choose. Which of them do you want to be fluent in as a speaker? British English, American English. They have their subtleties, stylistics, and nuances. They are not two peas in a pod. You've got to choose. I began my journey with the American English pronunciation, and I was always listening to VOA, the Voice of America. But one day, I discovered the BBC, and that changed my perception about speaking. I felt I needed to acquire the British brand of communication, which I feel is clearer and more elegant than its American English counterpart. That was a decision I took. And this decision gave me a sense of direction and drive. You've got to make that decision. Which, British or American? Let me just share a few subtleties with you as regards pronunciation. Capability, capacity, ability, mother, father, American. Capacity, capability, ability, mother, father, British pronunciation, quintessentially speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, the third thing that you have to bear in mind if you want to develop your fluency is get into the habit of listening and watching fluent speakers when they speak. When I was growing up, I would always listen to the BBC World Service over the radio. In those days, we hadn't the luxury of watching BBC television. So what I had to do to train my pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary was to listen with indefinable predilection to fluent speakers on the BBC. These fluent speakers were weather forecasters, news anchors, presenters, and whatnot. I would listen to them for up to 10 hours every day. Every day. And then I would always watch movies too. In those days, to the best of my recollection, I would watch Harry Potter, Chronicles of Narnia. Later on, I discovered Rome. And today we have The Crown. And all of these materials are available on YouTube. Listen and watch fluent speakers speak. That will help you to grow. Examine the cognitive development of children as regards communication. They spend time in the developmental stages listening to their parents, listening to people in the environment communicate, and then they begin to communicate as well. This is absolutely paramount or crucial. Learn to listen. Listen to and watch fluent speakers speak. The next tip I want to share with you is expand your vocabulary. Expand your vocabulary. Words are the currency of communication. And Henry Hazlitt, an American journalist, once mentioned in our hearing that a speaker who has a scant vocabulary will come across as a weak thinker. Expand your vocabulary through reading. Read widely, read voraciously, and pay attention to how authors formulate sentences, how they combine words. And something that is instrumental in vocabulary development success is a dictionary. Get a dictionary. Get a dictionary. A dictionary. Get one. Dictionary will teach you pronunciation. The dictionary will teach you grammar. The dictionary will teach you vocabulary. The dictionary will teach you collocations. The dictionary will teach you synonyms, phrasal verbs, and whatnot. Expand your vocabulary and get a dictionary. The next tip I want to share with you is get into the habit of saying tongue twisters. Fluent speakers, they are addicted to tongue twisters. I discovered this secret when I was working for Television Continental full-time, before my contract was upturned in 2017. Now I present that program on a part-time basis. Say tongue twisters. If you are familiar with tongue twisters, please give me a wave this way. If you're familiar with tongue twisters, give me a wave. Give me a wave, please. Give me a wave. Tongue twisters. I am thinking of 3,333 things. I am thinking of 3,333 things. I am thinking of 3,333 things. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. Tongue twisters will give you clarity, confidence, and fluency. Close to tongue twisters. The is get a teacher, somebody who's knowledgeable about pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary. Get a teacher, if you can. A teacher will guide you. A teacher will evaluate you. A teacher will spotlight your areas of strength. A teacher will show you areas that will require your improvement. Audi J was a teacher when he was alive, and I miss him terribly. Audi J taught me about the physicality of fluency, about the physicality of speaking, the physicality of pronunciation. He was a speaker of indefinable magnificence. Get a teacher if you want to improve your English. Speak every day. Speak to your children. Speak to your friends. Have debates. Speak regularly. In those days, I didn't get to know all of these secrets, and it caused catastrophic consequences. I was always bleeding. I had no one to guide me. I was always bleeding, blood all the time. My journey was bloody. It was bloody indeed. But if you can follow these secrets, your journey won't have the resemblance of mine. Speak every day. That's the only way to improve speaking. And when you are speaking, always listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Evaluate yourself. Sometimes use the voice notes on WhatsApp. Record yourself. Analyze and evaluate your speaking skills. Sometimes send your voice notes to a coach, a teacher, and that's how you'd improve. Ladies and gentlemen, the last tip I want to share with you is be consistent. Be consistent and be patient. Rome was not built in a day. I began my journey in 1999, and it's a lifelong journey. I still learn an awful lot every day about English. I am not done yet. I am not a finished product. I am still learning. In summary, first tip, motivation. Define the goal. The goal will generate the interest. Second tip, you need a sense of direction. Which of them do you want to be fluent in? American English or British English? They have their stylistics, nuances, and subtleties. Listen and watch fluent speakers. Incidentally, RDJ left us with videos on YouTube. Watch. Just watch. Listen to him and other speakers too. Listen to radio programs. Listen to podcasts. Listen and watch. Expand your vocabulary. Expand your vocabulary. Concentrate on descriptive words. For instance, exhilarated, perplexed, invigorated, astonished, intrigued, gobsmacked, impassioned. Focus on descriptive words, emotional words, feeling words, words that will help you to express your feelings or emotions. Next up, say tongue twisters all the time. Be close to tongue twisters. Next, get a teacher. Get a teacher. If you can, get a teacher. The teacher will guide you and your journey won't be bloody. The next one is speak every day. That's the only way to improve on your speaking skills. Speak every day. Speak to goats, chickens. Speak to your doves. Speak to your children. Speak to yourself. I love to speak to myself, even when I'm walking on the street. And in those days, people thought I was mental. I would speak to myself on the street. Speak to yourself. Be consistent. Be patient. It's a process. Rome was not built in a day. Ladies and gentlemen, it was John Dryden, an English poet, who mentioned that we first make our habits, and our habits make us. What you've just learned today is the cognitive psychology of fluency in English. And I hope that you've learned something that you can apply to broaden the horizons of your English communication. I would now take questions from the floor. If you have any question to ask me, please feel free to do so now. That will last for 5 to 10 minutes. All right, there is one question here in the chat box. Recommend a dictionary. I recommend the Longman Advanced Dictionary of Contemporary English. This one is equally exceptional. This is the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. You can equally invest in the concise Oxford Thesaurus. That would embolden your vocabulary, and the Oxford Dictionary of Collocations. That will polish your grammatical range and accuracy. Any other question, please? Any other question or questions?
Can I just say, Toastmaster Craig, can I make a comment?
Oh, please make a comment.
My comment would be, let me make sure there's no noise background coming. Okay, my comment would be, my joining Toastmaster, you were one of the people that made joining Toastmasters a lot of fun. People, I tend to laugh, but in my laughing, the way you're talking and the way you're doing your lips, I was experimenting it because you were pungent with your points and you're like, I don't know how you do it. But I think that you're a phenomenal speaker. I have a lot to learn from you, as every one of us indeed. So I want to say thank you, but I leave it to, but mine is, for a lot of people that are busy, how can they like accelerate their speaking game?
Right, thank you very kindly. Let me just share my reflections as regards your first observation, which I thank you most kindly for. I went to the National Broadcast Academy in 2009. That was the first time I met RDJ. I had devoted myself to fluency for 10 years before I went to that school. And the first time I met RDJ, I was enchanted, magnetized, and enthralled. Our DJ has deep understanding about the physicality of pronunciation and speaking. And that's something that I learned from him when he was alive. No excuses. No, if it's something you really want to acquire, you must devote time. No excuses whatsoever. Otherwise, it becomes a Herculean task, but it's not. All right. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Because I want to carry on to the prepared speeches segment of the meeting now.
There is a question from you.
One more question. All right, let me just take that last question and then we can go into the open door.
Thank you very kindly, the English doctor. You spoke about tongue twister, and I was engrossed because I realized that there are tongue twisters in almost all the tribes. If you check Yoruba, for example, there are tongue twisters, and I know of in Hausa too as a language. So how does tongue twister help in developing or improving your vocabulary as an English speaker? I would like you to expatiate more on that.
All right, thank you very kindly. I would expatiate on that. Tongue twisters don't develop your vocabulary. Tongue twisters will develop your pronunciation. Tongue twisters will give you confidence. Tongue twisters will enable your sentences to flow when you are speaking. And this is something that is oblivious to a plethora of speakers. And I felt I must mention it today. I discovered it when I was working for TVC full-time. They will give you clarity, help your pronunciation to be spiffy. For example, if I want to recommend to someone who is having challenges with the A sound, all right? I'd recommend the rain in Spain stays mainly on the plane. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plane. That can help the person to master that sound. The TH, I am thinking of 3,333 things. That can help a speaker to master the TH sound. I hope I've answered your question satisfactorily.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's now go on to the prepared speeches segment. Incidentally, we have one speaker who is ready, I believe, to fire on all cylinders. And our speaker is none other than Toastmaster Boluwatife. And this speaker would be evaluated by Toastmaster Deji Randall.
I think you need to confirm that. I think.
All right, Saya Baba, you would be sanctioned for not communicating that piece of information to me.
That was in your WhatsApp message. I'm sure I didn't check that. Sorry about that.
That's all right. This speaker would be evaluated by Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade. Olumide, what is the purpose statement of this speech project?
The purpose of this project is for the speaker to just present a speech between 5 to 7 minutes. And the topic is on I failed. So my responsibility is to check out for vocal variety, body language, the use of descriptive language in his presentation, and evaluate him on 3 to 4 fronts. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you very kindly. That's constructive. Ladies and gentlemen, Boluwatife Banwo is a human resources professional. He has an undeniable predilection for leadership and politics. And in 2021, his primary focus is to attain all-round growth. The title of the speech is I Failed. I failed. I present to you Toastmaster Boluwatife Banwo.
Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much.
Please.
The Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Have you ever wondered why successful people never tell you about their failures? Have you ever wondered why everyone wants to look like Superman and everyone wants to act as though they got it right from the beginning? Today, I want to share with us the importance of sharing our failures. Now I want to ask, how many of us, by show of hands, want to fail at any of our endeavors? Can I see any hands? If you want to fail in any of your endeavors, can I see any hands? Wow, nobody wants to fail, but everybody wants to grow. We all want to get to new heights. We all want to achieve new things. But we fail to realize that failure is a part of success. Failure can be a stepping stone to greater success. You'll realize that most of the time when we go into different ventures, we go into things that we have almost 100% chance of success. Why? Because we don't want to fail. Unfortunately, there's a difference between failing and being a failure. But we fail to realize this very wide gap. And so we concentrate our energies on being successful in little things because we want not to fail in those things that will bring the best out of us. Many a times, we do things simply because we are good at it. We give speeches because we are good at it. We fail to challenge ourselves because we don't want to fail. We're so scared of failure. Trust me, there's nobody more scared of failure than I am. But I've come to realize in my journey that failure is not fatal. I will proudly say to you today, I failed. In many areas of my life, I have failed before. In my academics, I failed, sometimes woefully. I wrote JAM thrice. In school, I also failed. In other areas of my life, I have failed. In my relationships, I failed. But hey, why am I talking about my failures? I'm talking about my failures today because what I went through many years ago, somebody is going through right now. And if I refuse to tell you that, although I'm successful right now, I have had times in the past where I've failed. You might think, oh, this is the end of the world. This is the end of my story. Fellow Toastmasters, the fact that you failed at something does not mean that you're a failure. The fact that you couldn't meet up to certain expectations of yourself does not mean that you're a failure. It only means that there's a lot of work to be done. And as far as I know, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. But oftentimes when we succeed, we find that we're not looking to improve. We just want to stay in our comfort zone because we're doing it and we're getting it right. So I want to challenge you today that you should do those things that you do not have almost 100% chance at succeeding at. And for those of us who are afraid of telling our failure stories, I'd like to say this to you. You need to own your story. Trust me, sometimes your failure story is what opens you up to new opportunities. When somebody knows that you have tried it before and you have failed, and then you took up the challenge of going further to succeed at the same thing, then I can trust you. Then I can tell you about my failures. Then I can ask for advice. But if you come here all sanctified and all glorious, telling me about the fact that you always succeeded at everything you do, I don't want to listen to you because you don't understand what I'm going through. You don't understand my challenges. You don't understand where I'm going. You don't understand how I feel. So I'll say this to you. Please, as much as you can, tell people about your failures, because it not only tells them that you're not Superman, it also tells them that they can fail and still succeed. In the words of Confucius, our greatest glory is not in never failing. Our greatest glory is in rising every time we fall. The Toastmaster.
All right, thank you very kindly. That was a scintillating and splendiferous speech. Let's give him a clap, please. The speech, in my view, was regaled with a plethora of shining moments, and something stood out for me when you said, failure is not fatal. Many thanks, Toastmaster Bolu. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to glide into the last segment of the meeting, which is evaluation. It was Les Brown, the American motivational speaker, who said that you capture when you are in the frame. Evaluation is a masterclass in public speaking in the terrain of Toastmasters. And this portion of the meeting championed and anchored by the general evaluator. Toastmaster Aziz Okegbenro, please take the floor now.
Hello, everyone. Wow, what a great meeting we had today. All speakers performed wonderfully well. The prepared speech speaker was on fire. That was us. All our role players, I believe you've
Hearing.
no.
Aziz Okegbenro, are you there? All right, I will step into the breach in the interest of time management. I would first of all like to call upon the speech evaluator for the prepared speaker, Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade, to deliver his evaluation. Afterwards, we take the topics evaluation. Olumide Ajibade, over to you, please.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Boluwatife Banwo. That was a wonderful presentation. I felt. From the topic, I was engrossed. The way you handle it with consummate ease shows that you're not just a Toastmaster, but you're a veteran Toastmaster. And that is another feather to your cap. You opened your speech by asking us, have you wondered why successful people don't tell you about their fails? That was a strong rhetorical question that will get even the dumbest audience to listen to you. You went further. You asked us a question. That was engaging. We wanted to, you were expecting an answer. You asked a question and demanded an answer from us. I loved your vocal variety when you said, nobody wants to fail. The moment it changed, it got me listening more. That was wonderful. Also, the body of your speech had many nuggets that if anyone is jotting and writing, I am sure they have enough bullets to shoot their challenges. Great one, Toastmaster Boluwatife Banwo. Our greatest story is never failing. It is rising every time we fall. I felt that, and I'm going to apply that to my life. And also, I expect every one of us listening to this meeting. However, like you said, the greatest room in the world is a room for improvement. I noticed you said, you told us that people don't tell their failure stories. They don't talk about their failure stories. You only told us that I failed in exams. I failed in relationships. You told us about people not telling their failure stories. I would have loved to hear a story from you about how you failed and got back on your feet. You didn't tell us. You only made a statement. It was not an anecdote. It wasn't a story of how you failed. So I would love another engagement to have a short story. I would have taken you on I failed in exam, I failed in relationship, and you were smiling. But because you were trying to encourage us that failure is not the end. So if you were smiling there, I will still go with you since it's an encouragement. Also, your background only showed your head region. I couldn't see your chest. I didn't see your hands. If it is collapsed or not, I can only say of your smiling face, which was wonderful and endeared us to you. The background is a bit dark. Maybe you can lighten it up a bit in subsequent engagements. Above all, you ended by telling us our greatest story is never failing. It is rising every time we fall. That is motivating, that is encouraging, and that is powerful. An excellent opening. Nuggets we can go home with. A wonderful one. Just work on telling us more in your future engagements. I enjoyed myself and I've learned a lot. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
All right, thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade, a trained auto technician who is keen about self-development and is currently serving as the Sergeant at Arms of the Agile Toastmasters Club. I have been informed that our general evaluator is back. Toastmaster Aziz Okegbenro, I hereby relinquish control to you.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Craig. I'm very sorry for the I have a network problem. All right. As I said earlier, that I have a formidable team that will be playing the role of general evaluator with me. Permit me to call the role players one after the other. Please, Toastmaster
Aziz, please. Aziz, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please, let's have the topics evaluation first, and then we'll go to the role players.
All right. Oh. Okay. Our table topics master for today is Toastmaster Josephine Agolo. Please come on board to evaluate the table topics session. Toastmaster Josephine.
Tiambolo will be doing the evaluation.
I'm sorry about that.
Boluwatife is going to evaluate the topics specific.
I'm sorry about that. Toastmaster Boluwatife, please come on board to give us feedback of the table topic session.
All right, thank you very much, General Evaluator. Today we had 3 table topics respondents, and we had 3 topics for them to respond to. First, we had Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade, I think we should stop calling Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade for table topics. He has got so good at it that if you call him again, I'll not be happy with you. So please, for subsequent meetings, let's not call Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade. He's not just a Toastmaster, he's one who has competed at the highest level and has won laurels for himself. Please, next person who is going to be a table topics master, please let's desist from calling Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade. But to his delivery, he started with confidence. It felt like he was expecting that he will be called. I appreciate that because it's always good to be prepared. The Boy Scout will say, be ready always. And so Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade is always ready. He repeated the question. He was happy to participate. He talked about what he will do when he's under pressure. And he gave us two things that were very keen to what he will do. He talked about music and he talked about smiling. It was a brief presentation, but it was straight to the point. He didn't beat around the bush. He went straight to the point and gave us the answers to the question. He used more than a minute, so I must say that that's quality delivery from you. Your vocal variety was top notch. I could hear you very clearly, and I believe every other person could. I really could not fault anything in your speech, but I will also recommend again that we do not call you to speak during table topics subsequently. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Abiodun Adilano. And the question was, what would you do with $1 million if you find out tomorrow that you just wanted $1 million? She sounded like she had a plan. I feel like I can give Toastmaster Abiodun my $1 million right now, and she would know exactly what to do with it. And that's something I quite appreciate. A lot of people probably still want to start thinking about it, but she had a plan. She talked about how she would feel before talking about what she would do. And I think that's very important. You know, how you feel will determine to a very large extent what you will do with the money. And that's exactly what she did. What did she not do well in the course of her speech? It was too short. And that's probably because she's doing this for the first time. So she probably doesn't know the rules. So let me restate the rules. In table topics, you're expected to speak for at least 1 minute, at least a minute. You can speak for as much as 2 minutes, and you have 30 seconds extra to conclude your thoughts. But if you speak for less than a minute, then your speech will not count as a properly delivered speech. That's the only thing I think she can improve upon, though she delivered effectively and she showed us exactly what she can do with $1 million US. Toastmaster Basi was also asked a question. In his own case, he dived right into it and he told us exactly what he would do. However, like Toastmaster Abiodun, it was too short. He made mention of the fact that he just joined the meeting. So I would have expected that we changed the respondent because he was not aware of the rules. So subsequent meetings, table topics master, when somebody acknowledges that they don't know the rules, I think it's only fair that we allow them just watch for the first time, because he probably would have delivered up to a minute or more if he knew the rules, but to no fault of his, he did not know the rules and he delivered this speech in, I think, about 14 to 15 seconds. That's one thing I think he can improve upon. So for anyone who is going to be responding to table topics in subsequent meetings, please note the least amount of time you can speak for is a minute. You can speak for as much as 2 minutes and then maybe 30 seconds extra to conclude your thoughts. On this note, I'd like to hand over back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Banwo. The next role player is our grammarian. Do you want to know how well you've used the word of the day, your pronunciation, how you pronounce, how you use your words rightly? The grammarian, come on board to give us your feedback. Toastmaster Israel Ebenezer. Please, you have the floor.
The general evaluator, it appears that Ebenezer is not on the call at the moment. As far as the word of the day is concerned, I was the only person who used it once, to the best of my remembrance. Three words were not pronounced with military precision. And let me just point them out to you. The first one is, one speaker said amiable, that ought to be amiable. One speaker said pressure, that's pressure. That position is occupied by a voiceless fricative consonant phoneme, pressure. And then one speaker said, I am excited. And I want to commend the speaker who pronounced international with clockwork accuracy. That's back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Craig, for taking up the roles. You always show that you're an authentic English doctor. Thank you so much. Our next role player is our counter, Toastmaster Epundayo Titilayo. Please give us your feedback.
Okay, thank you. It's been a rather interesting meeting. I'll start from myself. During the introduction, I used 4 M's during the introduction. And then TM Josephine used the M once, and then she used gonna 3 times. TM, or it's ending, I'm not sure which is appropriate. Abiola, she used gonna once. Bassi, TM Bassi used, okay, I've committed the crime again. TM Bassi used actually a lot of times during his during the presentation. Forgive my obvious mistakes. TM Boluwatife used M 4 times, and TM Aziz used M once. And I think TM Titilayo has increased the amount of times she's used M. Thank you very much.
So, Toastmaster Titilayo, you are the winner of the counter for this meeting, right? All right. The next role player is our listening evaluator. As we all know, listening is one of the importance of public speaking. If you want to be a great speaker, you must learn the act of listening. For us to know how members are listening effectively during the meeting, Toastmaster Shayo Bilubaje, please give us your feedback for today's meeting.
Thank you, my general evaluator. I love this part of the meeting because it steps to my own effectiveness to listening. So it's really good. So I want to go further to ask some questions. We had the privilege of listening to TM Craig, and he shared so many tips. So I'm going to ask the first question. According to TM Craig, what will a dictionary do for you? Any taker? What will a dictionary do for you? He shared about 3 things a dictionary can do for us. So who's going to take that? Any taker?
Replenish your vocabulary bank.
1.
Provide synonyms to words.
Good.
Any
other? Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. There are several tips shared by TM Greg as well. Who wants to just give us like 1 or 2? He had about 8 to 9 tips he shared during the course of the training. You want to share with us?
Okay, he said, hello, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Okay, one of the tips is if we should immerse ourselves in English, and also he said we should learn to speak every day. We should be consistent. And also, we should have a direction, a sense of direction, whether we're interested in the British or academic English. Thank you.
I'm sure Tim Craig is very proud. Thank you for that. Any other takers?
We should be incurable devotee of the tongue twister.
Absolutely. Any other one? Okay. Thank you. I'm sure Tim and Greg will be quite. I think someone wants to take.
I'm back.
Good. No, I'm
Be
not.
consistent. Be consistent.
Be consistent. Absolutely. You also said in talking to yourself, you can talk to your, sorry, in speaking every day, he said you can do some things. Can anybody tell us what they are? I'll start by saying, talk to yourself, use voice notes, talk to your, please, can anybody take it away?
Say we should talk to our dog.
Talk to your dogs, yes. Talk to your kids. Talk to your goats. Thank you very much. And finally, before I take it away, before I hand it over to the general evaluator, according to our table topic speaker number 1, how does he cope with pressure? He shared one tip which he used in coping with pressure. What is that?
Smile.
No. Listen to music.
Listen to music. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tiemi. Thank you, my general evaluator. That's my report for today's meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. The next role player is Toastmaster Ayodeji. Someone once said, if you can't manage your time, you can't manage your life. To know how effective we've managed our time today, let's welcome our timer for today's meeting. Toastmaster Ayodeji, please give us your feedback.
All right, guys, thank you again for bringing me up for this cameo presentation. So again, I like data, I like statistics, so I just pretty much put everything on figures for you. So this is a breakdown of how we used our time. And if you see, I actually corresponded each of them with the time that we spent. I want to give accolades to Tim Craig. He had a 30-minute slot and he went under 28 minutes. The table topics evaluator, who had 5 minutes, and he went for 5 minutes, around 5 minutes on the dot. He went lower than this actually. And every other thing. For the breakdown of the time that we used during the presentation, for table topics, we had Tim Ajibade again, 1 minute, Tim Alilano, 34 seconds, Tim Basi, intending Toastmaster Basi, 15 seconds. The prepared speech was 5 minutes, 15 seconds. The evaluator, Tim Olumide, spoke for 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Tim Godwin, this is wrong. This is supposed to be Tim Blue, spoke for 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Tim Craig, you spoke for a total of 27 minutes plus, and you spent 18 minutes on your presentation while you spent 5 minutes, 38 seconds during the question time. That's my report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deji, for that feedback. As the general evaluator, I said earlier that my role is to observe and evaluate everything at during today's meeting. These are my feedbacks. Today's meeting was a great meeting. The role players did exceptionally well. The prepared speech speaker was great as well, and all the tech topics speakers did wonderfully well as well. And our trainer, Toastmaster Craig, was exceptional. I didn't expect less from him. He's someone that when you listen to him, you can never remain the same again. Toastmaster Craig, thank you so much for that engaging and informational training. At this station, I'd like to leave the leadership honor to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Craig. Thank you. You have the floor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Graciously, for relinquishing control. As I mentioned earlier, the evaluation portion of the meeting is tantamount to a masterclass in public speaking. Thank you, Ms. Graciously, for your constructive, instructive, and perceptive evaluation. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been great. It has been fun. But my time here is done. I would hereby relinquish control to the person who has chosen to step into the breach of the president, Toastmaster Boluwatife Banwo.
Thank you very much to Toastmaster Craig. I am most grateful for your time today. It is not always common to have a trainer also the Toastmaster of the day. He has won caps today, 2 very big caps, and he has done excellently well in both roles. Please, can we give him a virtual round of applause, please? We can use the emoji. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Craig. We sincerely appreciate you. On behalf of the president and every member of the executive team of Toastmasters, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who has made it a date with us for this meeting. We understand that 2 hours of your time is not something to be taken for granted, and we do not take it for granted. We hope that you've learned something today and that your journey to becoming a Toastmaster and a better speaker and leader all around has taken a huge boost today. I want to thank you so much for coming in. I also want to say that in 2 weeks' time, we have another scintillating presentation for you. So please make it a date with us in 2 weeks, and that is the 30th of May. But before we do that, I'd like for our guests to introduce themselves. We still have a few minutes. So if you're a guest in-house, I want to see you raise your hand. I'm going to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the house. Anybody? This is not table topics, please, okay? So if you're a guest, oh, I have Chinedu with us. Chinedu, please, can you unmute and introduce yourself?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
my name is Chinedu. I'm a woman. So most people, it's commonly a man's name, but that's my name. It's good to be in our midst this evening. It's been exciting, it's been educative. You know, there's been so many light bulb moments for me, and I'm really, happy to be here. Going forward, I know we're going to have a very good learning relationship. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chinedu. Do we have any other person joining us for the first time? Oh, BC Alimi.
We have Glory.
Oh, we also have Glory
Roberts. Glory
we'll come
Roberts.
to Glory Roberts after BC Alimi. BC Alimi raised his or her hand. I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman.
It's a female.
Oh, hi, BC.
Hi. Good evening.
All right. Do you mind introducing yourself to us?
I think there's someone else talking. Hello.
Yes, please. You have the floor.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is BC Alimi. This is my first time I'm joining Toastmasters Club, and I had the opportunity through Learntor to join this. So I've enjoyed every bit of the learning, and I look forward to more sessions like this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, BC. Now we go to Glory Robert.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi, Glory. Good evening.
Many times. Good evening. Okay, my name is Glory. I appreciate the moment I have here. I've always desired to become a Toastmaster. I've always desired that I will do by the end of this year. I'm super excited because my coach is in the house, Toastmaster Craig, many times. So I look forward to become a Toastmaster soon. By the end of this year, I promise to fulfill all my duties to become a Toastmaster. Thank you.
Would you like to join Learntor Toastmasters?
Yes. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Whichever one. But by the end of this year, I know I'm going to join one.
Great. I'd like to recommend Learntor Toastmasters to you.
Okay. Many thanks.
Thank you very much.
Glory, you are joining Learntor Toastmaster. I'll see to that. Glory. Thank you.
All right. Do you have anybody else? Talisha.
Bye-bye.
Is Talisha with us? Okay.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, Talisha, are you joining us for the first time?
Yes, I am.
Oh, do you mind introducing yourself to us?
Hello, everyone. My name is Talisha Esohwode. I am a current student at and a tutor at Learntor, and this is my first Toastmaster classes that I am attending, and I'm just actually observing, and so far I'm like what I'm hearing, the stories, the success, the failure. You know, your failures turn out to be successes, and you know, gives you the opportunity for growth. So I'm just really listening and just taking it all in. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Alicia. We hope that you join us in our other meetings so that you can make up your mind to join us. Trust me, if you stay with us long enough, you'll be convinced that you need to join Learntor Toastmasters. On that note, like I said earlier, I want to thank everyone for coming in. We do not take your time for granted. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the time and the effort you put in to joining us today. I would like to adjourn the meeting to 30th of May, 2021. Thank you, everyone. We'll be having a breakout session for those who are just joining us for the first time so that we can get to talk to you and get to understand you more. CMS will make that happen shortly. So please, you get a prompt, please join the breakout session so that we can have a fruitful conversation. For the rest of us, thank you very much for coming in for our Toastmaster of the Day and trainer. We really sincerely appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
And we have a selfie moment, please, Toastmaster.
Oh, please, sure. Let's have a selfie moment. So you can put your video on and then we'll take a picture. Okay. The videos are coming on. Ah, Toastmaster Craig.
That is why he's able to smile like that. I have a lot of learning from Toastmaster Craig. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
All right.
I don't think there's any need for breakout room. Do you still want to have a breakout room?
Well, our new intelligent members have introduced themselves. Okay. I feel like we just need to have their contact details so that we can.
Yes, let me drop the link for them to just fill out.
Okay.
So what are the people interested? Are you interested in getting to a breakout room and have a one-on-one conversation with us? We can create a breakout room.